Deuterostomes are a clade that is defined by DNA similarities and developmental patterns. However, some animals outside this clade display similar deuterostome-like developmental patterns, like the ectoprocs, but are not actually closely related and are not members of this clade. Echinoderms are in this clade, along with chordates, and we'll talk about the echinoderms for this presentation. So, as a reminder, deuterostomes share the following developmental characteristics. They have radial cleavage, formation of the mouth opposite the blastopore, and a few other similarities as well. Echinoderms are slow-moving or sessile, meaning rooted or attached marine animals. They have a very thin external epidermis and a hard endoskeleton of calcified plates. It should be noted that although they appear to be radially symmetric, they descended from bilateral ancestors. And so superficially they appear radial, however, they are bilateral, or sometimes described as pentaradial. They display a network of hydraulic canals, known as the water vascular system, which branch into oftentimes thousands of tube feet that are used for a variety of purposes, including locomotion, feeding, and gas exchange. One of the major classes of the echinoderms are the asteroidea, which includes sea stars and sea daisies, not pictured here. Sea daisies are a much smaller group, and most species are in this class are sea stars, such as those pictured here, sometimes erroneously called starfish, but that's incorrect because, as you know, they're not fish. They're characterized by multiple arms radiating from a central disc, and the undersides bear the familiar tube feet. For these guys, the tube feet act like suction cups that allow them to move around. And if for whatever reason they lose one or more arms, they can regrow those. And in fact, some individuals can reconstitute themselves even if they just are a single arm, as long as a part of the central disc is still attached as well. Another important group of echinoderms are the brittle stars, the Ophiuridae. They have a distinct central disc and long, thin arms, and compared to the sea stars, some of them can move pretty quickly. And the next group we'll look at are the sea urchins and sand dollars, the Echinoidea. Unlike sea stars and brittle stars, this class lacks arms, but they do show the pentaradial symmetry in 5 rows of tube feet that are used for movement. And they also have a distinctive structure known as their Aristotle's lantern, which is analogous to jaws and invertebrates that they use mostly for eating algae. And then the last group of echinoderms that we'll look at are the Holothuriidea, otherwise known as the sea cucumbers. So these guys lack spines. They do have the pentaradial arrangement of tube feet. They have a very reduced endoskeleton, and some of the tube feet are used for movement, some are used as feeding tentacles. And in some cultures, sea cucumbers are considered a delicacy.